All right, let's do a run through the market real quick, and then I'll show some smart money stuff on Nansen. Of course, a lot of the stuff that like the plays, I'll still post some free ones, but a lot of the stuff's going to be in this new Discord that I made. And I'd love to be able to do it for free, but what I'm trying to do is build something that can help people get very profitable based on smart money. And yeah, I think if you watch the video here, which it's on my Twitter if you want to check it out at Bike for Sale. But this video that I made just a little while ago, it kind of goes through what's currently on there, the smart alerts that are currently on there that pretty much go 24/7. Um, but also the upcoming upgrades that I want to do, for the server itself. And that'll come as we get like 50, 100, 150 people. There's kind of like milestones at each point. So I want to improve it as it goes along, build community, build a place everybody can be proud of. So I understand, the market, not all the alts are doing very well right now, and people don't want to spend money, and that's fine. But once you do, you could go ahead and watch the video and just see what it's about. But once you do get ready to see what smart alerts are all about, you can jump in on it. So let's see. Well, this just kind of goes over what I was talking about here, the how I'm kind of treating it like a crypto project where there's milestones where I upgrade the server basically. And it's not just adding channels. I'm not talking about that or even boosting the server. I'm talking about actually adding real content. Um, whether it's the higher tier of Nansen where there's a lot more alpha, or if it's some other platform. That's what I'm talking about, adding a new platform to it. And here's some previews of it. But I'm just going to go over BTC and some other stuff right now. It's not really about the Discord. I just want to let everybody know that it is up and running. Here it is right here. Here's some alerts. There's some members on here. So anyway, let's start off with, oh, this reminded me on QUBIC. For anybody curious about the price, I did make a post not long ago saying that it could come down to like 2,300, and it actually hit it exactly. Now the question is a 4-hour candle going to close into this range, or a daily candle going to close into this range right here, which would take it down to, quite a bit lower. It would take it down to maybe, I think 1,500 to 1,900, somewhere in there is some decent amount of support. I'm just holding though. I know what CFB, the creator of this, can do. I know what he's done in the past with projects. And I mean, I'm willing to wait that 12 to 18 months, whatever it takes for it to, hit 50, 100x, 200x, whatever it is. All right. Let's see here. I want to get into pork here because I actually did, using this smart alert system for this Discord that I started, I actually did find the very top of this, at least for that day. So, somebody could have taken profits on it and then jumped back in, or just taken profits and switched it to something else. Because I think this thing did like a 40x. And here's where I'm explaining it right here. But you can, oh yeah, here it is right here. But you can go on my Twitter and look at that if you want. All right, Bitcoin. This is the current chart notations that I'm looking at, where this long-term trend line would, it goes all the way back here to this kind of support resistance area on a diagonal line. I think this is probably going to happen, and there's nothing that can be done to stop it, but it doesn't mean it has to. If it does come back and test the trend line, then, looking at maybe 34 to 36K. But currently, if this isn't going to happen, I always talk about if A, then B. But if B is not going to happen down here, then this price action has to stay above this green box. And I've been talking about this green box since, I don't know, January 28th, maybe. So about a week ago. It is acting as support currently, but you can see I have a notation here. The daily candle must stay above this zone. If it falls below, then that's bearish. And if we look at the money flow currently, I don't really like, Like if I blow it up here, I don't really like that it continues to taper down. If we're going to see something bullish from this point, this momentum wave has to keep doing this. And right now it kind of looks like it wants to do that. And if this happens, this second option here, then this is definitely going into red money flow. And usually when you get to that point on a daily chart, it takes it a while to turn around. So you might come down here and bounce around for a bit and then finally come back up. And this is typical. Like if we look right here from a 4-year perspective, where is April? Well, that's April 15th. It's close enough to where the halving will be. So if we're calling this vertical line right here our halving, then price action can either go sideways. And I'm talking about, if you look at like the total market cap or something, not just Bitcoin, but price action can go sideways or it could come down prior to the halving. And then after halving, maybe it comes down a little bit more. It's possible. But overall, after halving, at least a month after halving, you're going to start to see some positive moves up. And then once Bitcoin finally breaks its all-time high, that's when altcoins go crazy. And that's just speaking strictly from a historical sense, assuming that the 4-year cycle continues. And I think a lot of people understand that. Um, but that's not to say, I mean, this is an inverted head and shoulder. They don't always play out. And if it did play out, then you'd be looking at something like, I don't know if I want to take that wick there, but I mean, this is just an approximation. You'd come back up here and retest these areas that were swing failure pattern, 47, 48, something like that. That would be the extension if it was to head back up. And then speaking of extensions, if we were to look at the fibs, your golden pocket resistance would be right about here, which is roughly 45K. So really my current resistance is this purple line that's like the short-term resistance. And my support is this dotted line or this green box right here. If we get above here, then it's for sure going to 45K. And then we'll just have to see what happens at that point. But, if Bitcoin goes sideways or it goes up a little bit, I mean, alts will be fine. They'll start moving up again. And nobody really knows what's going to happen. I mean, you've got non-farm payroll information came out today that kind of scared some people. That it may cause a dip, but to take a couple days for it to play out. What is today? So we've got 7 days till what is it, the new moon? And sometimes that's the temporary top. So I would say if we don't see a pump above this line for Bitcoin just say by the 9th of February, then it's probably coming back down here, I would imagine, or just going sideways. It could do that too. But there's just so much liquidity down here. I mean, I talked about it in a video previous where 34 to 36K, there's a lot of stop losses. There's a lot of, I mean, you can see right here at one point right here at 35.5, there was a wick down to grab liquidity. So maybe 34.8-ish, somewhere in there. Maybe that's where it comes down to. But in this whole zone, and if we look at this, point of control was actually 34.5. So it was pretty close to that. But that's where most of the volume was taking place in that area. There's another area here at 36.4. And then the range high there was 37.2. And all this is just taking this. I don't know if I'd went far enough down. Let me see. Where did I put that? Oh yeah, I put it about where I wanted to think. All this is it's down here at the bottom. It's a discount. If it's up here, then it's probably overvalued. And it didn't really bounce in between here very often. When it was coming up like this, that was really bullish. So yeah, I'm kind of figuring it's going to build, since this was so bullish back here, I'm figuring it's going to build some structure if it does come back down here in this range. Could it come down to 30K, 28K? Sure. I mean, there are times when it completely recovers the gap. You know, some people call it the gap, fair value gap, the imbalance, the order block. You know, there's a lot of things to call it. So that would be down here. But I don't know. I kind of feel like it's going to stop around 34 to 36K. Let's see. So now we'll move to kind of like the altcoin. Um, well, it's the ETH BTC that kind of predicts what altcoins are going to do. Still, nothing has really changed here. I'm seeing it similarly where it's doing like an M structure here or here. You know, it found a bottom, or you could call it this bottom. And then it came up and broke above, and now it's just going to go sideways a bit. It is finding some support right in this area, which was previous support here as well. Yeah, it really needs to hold this because at one time this was support back here before it got lost, and it was resistance at one point. So this is a really important area for ETH as far as the Bitcoin pair. I mean, we don't want to see. It's okay if it wicks down here, but we don't want to see a candle close below this. Wonder what the daily looks like. Yeah, we've just been in negative money flow for a while now. Yeah, there's really nothing to see, I don't believe there. This could be tapering on the 2-day. I think if you get another green, like a green dot form here that's lower than this one, something like that, it could give us enough of a bullish divergence to push back up. Because that's what I thought was going to happen initially was, you know, we come down, we go up, come down, go up, just go sideways till the halving and then break out. So that kind of falls in line with what I was talking about with Bitcoin. Okay, let me jump on Nansen here. I wasn't really going to look at movie. So we'll look at my dashboard that I've created here. And what we're seeing in the last 24 hours is a decent amount of people going to stable coins. I don't know if I'm not sure if Nansen considers ETH currency because I have seen a lot of smart money move into ETH and maybe they're expecting a bounce out of ETH. Actually, that would be something to look at. Let's just see what this chart looks like. And it's hitting probably some decent resistance there, I would imagine. Let's see. Well, honestly, that's kind of what Bitcoin did. So it'd be something like this is the resistance area. I think that's about right. And it's pretty close. And then we'll look at market cipher. I want to see what the money flow looks like on those. And it's not bad. I mean, I don't like this necessarily, but here on the 2-day, this could curl up like that. So a retest of this breakout, would that be correct? Something like that. Deviation above, deviation above. Or I just bring it up to here because that's where these two meet. And we connect these. And it's pretty close. Yeah, I mean, that looks good to me. So the way I would look at this currently on ETH USDT pair is maybe it's just pressing up against this resistance off of this retest here. You don't want to see a 4-hour candle close below this though, which would be, I mean, it's not really showing any weakness yet, but you know, what if it forms like a head and shoulders and then comes back down? You know, could come all the way back down to 1600s even. And that would only be if Bitcoin, you know, came down to 34K or whatever. So currently, I don't see any problem with ETH. You know, daily doesn't look great as far as the money flow, but sometimes this money flow it'll taper down and then take back off again. But we really need Bitcoin to stay at least bullish, going sideways or something. Okay. So consensus layer, exchange coins, data sourcing oracles. Those are your winners over the last 24 hours. And then last 7 days, DeFi has been doing real well. It's kind of like the top thing. And those other ones that we just mentioned are kind of right in here as well. Um, so let's see, this is a brand new coin, Pork. I want to look at this. Yeah, so Peep Fork is the name of it. And I actually saw this thing, I believe, when it was like 2x, 5x, something like that. And then it just kept running. Um, but yeah, definitely check my Twitter about how I decided that maybe it was the top because, I was starting to see a lot of this right here, a lot of red numbers, people selling within a 24-hour period. Yeah, money just keeps coming out of it. Seems like, I mean, you can see right here on the smart money wallet, it's trending down, less smart money holders, less smart money balance. But that thing hit 274 million really quick. There's really not enough here to be able to show you a chart, but I mean, you can clearly see that a lot of volume happened down here and about midways through. And now the volume's starting to get a little bit lower than the initial volume. But these meme coins are real risky. I mean, just because this one did well doesn't mean that the next one will. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can find something. Just looking through. What do we want to look at? Maybe last 24 hours. So here's your top. How does it reference this? Okay, so this is your top smart money tokens traded volume. Smart money has actually traded 306,000 worth of OX. It doesn't mean it's going up. It means money is changing hands, and that's how much volume there's been. Links up 27%. I'm not big on these coins that are like billions of market cap. I'd rather find something that's either new or, something kind of more exciting. So these are higher market caps for the most part. So here's one. Here's a little bit of alpha for you. I mean, this is just now popping up. This is a brand new coin, was just launched called Emerald. And Smart Money is buying it. You've got, although I don't see, it shows Smart Money is buying it, but there's no Smart Money balance. It's weird. It's mostly selling here. Sometimes when you see this, a lot of selling when a coin first launches, that means there was an airdrop involved. So maybe be careful with this one. Let it play out a little bit first. Um, let's see. So there is that. And let me just run through a couple more things here. I guess I could show you new tokens. Vec's been doing real well. We've been talking about that one. This was actually a Braver pick. If you don't know Braver, look up on Twitter, Braver Discord, and you'll find him. Just make sure you got the right one. It's got a check mark. He's verified. New tokens are kind of hit or miss. These are like brand new tokens. Either they launched in late January or, maybe early February, like that other one we just looked at. What is this one? CAD. Smart money's pretty much sideways. There's been a lot of selling, probably not one to really look at. Yeah, I wouldn't really bother with that one. And then you can also look at low caps on 24-hour basis. Maybe you'll get some things with a little bit more. This one went crazy. Somebody apparently made a meme coin called Dork that I guess it's supposed to be making fun of what is that guy's name? the real polarizing guy that hang on, I'll bring it up here. Can't even think of his name. So here's the website for it. Whoever this guy is. It's kind of funny, really. I don't know. Maybe it's a fan of this guy, or maybe they just don't like him. What is DFX? Okay. So here's microcap 2023 coin. We can look at this Gyoshi. Yeah, smart money's pretty much sideways on it. Not much movement yet. Okay, here is mid caps. We're just trying to find things moving. There's really not much moving. I'm curious about Root though. I had forgotten about this one. Smart money does seem to be accumulating it, even though it had a big dip. I mean, look at this dip that happened. Actually, it's really hard to see it on there. When this happened, when that dip happened, I was telling everybody on Twitter that it was probably just FUD, and it did bounce for a 30 to 40% gain off of that, the bottom that it created, this big wick. So somebody could have made money on it, but it came right back down and recovered the wick again. I mean, this could be another support area. If you really believe in the product, how much was it down? 40, 50%, 60. So if you really believe in the product and that they're creating, then here or this like 340 to 360 area might be the place to buy. Although it could come down here to the 786 as well. All right, what else can we look at? We could look at number of number of wallets. And I'm going to be researching, trying to find a play. Of course, the best plays I'm going to have uh, or the early plays I'm going to have for our Discord group. But, and I'll post the link for that if anybody's interested. But for everybody else that just follows me on Twitter, which is fine. I mean, I'm not worried about the money. Um, I'll try to find a good play, or maybe I'll mention the play that I told the Discord a little bit later. But I'm still gonna be doing free content. It's no big deal. That's what we're looking at. Smart money buy sell, and I want to look at if we've got any tokens that have some buyers coming in. Like new wallets. That's what I'm looking for. Well, Pork was one of them, but I think it's done now. So Pandora might be one to look at. It was just launched. Pork Toshi. Here come the knockoffs of the pork. Yeah, these are all brand new, seems like. Here's Pandora, no smart money yet. This is INS. I'm not real sure what that is, but it's currently at 65 cents roughly. It was created January 2024, 82 FDV, 82 million. I'm seeing more buys than sells, so that's not bad. There's some pretty big buys there, but this is also a wallet that I follow. That's a high quality wallet, and they sold. So maybe I'll keep an eye on this one, but I'm not too sure about it just yet. There's no smart money on this one yet. Of course, this is a brand new coin, so there wouldn't be. What is this? Trestle. Are there any buys at all? Oh yeah, there are here. Okay. We'll pass on that one. And here's one named Scans. Not really seeing any buys or sells from significant wallets, although here's a sell from this one. This is another good wallet that I follow, so I'd probably pass on this one if he's selling. You want to see them buying. So yeah, let me research some more. I mean, I like to do these impromptu sessions where maybe I just find something, but it just doesn't work like that, especially when the market is down. Now, when the market's up and going crazy, sure, you can find stuff all over the place, but it's a lot harder when the market's down. And a lot of people don't even make videos or Twitter posts or nothing uh, when the market's not doing so great. But yeah, let me look through some things and I'll try to post something by tomorrow and see if I can get y'all to play. All right, y'all take care.